It's championship football here on this Saturday afternoon at Blenheim District High School. I'm Mike James, joined by Kevin Pugh. This is your 8-man football championship. It is the Blenheim Bobcats hosting John McGregor, the Panthers, in the dark jerseys. It's going to be McGregor kicking this one off. Again, 8-man championship football. Kevin, going to be a great matchup here today.
Definitely the two best teams in this league. Very different offensive styles, but definitely going to be an entertaining game. That's Jalen Butcher kicking it off, nice and deep.
That is deep, and we should mention, too, McGregor has the wind at their back right now on that kickoff.
Yep, and they've just got themselves on the board already with a single point.
Well, right off the bat, you can see the wind could be a factor here today, certainly gusty, and it's going to be Blenheim that's going to take the ball first going into that sharp wind. And that seems to work out for their offense. We were talking before the game. They like to run the football, and that's
yes,
certainly
definitely
to their advantage.
Yeah, the Blenheim has got a powerhouse backfield with the Schuhen brothers, Tanner and Dalton, and they have ridden those two guys all season long. Two big bodies that, unless you get low, they're going to make you pay the price.
So here we go, 1st and 10. As we mentioned, this is 8-man football, the championship game. So you'll see the difference, especially on the line with 3 offensive linemen.
Yeah, sometimes Blenheim will line up with 5, and that's a handoff to Tanner Schuhen there. And a good stop.
A nice stop there.
I believe that might have been Luke Little with the stop. Yep, it was Luke Little. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Blenheim didn't play back a little further on that kickoff, and then not really surprised at the same time because Butcher has actually found his leg over the last couple weeks and has been launching those kickoffs. I believe the last time he wasn't kicking very deep, so.
It's going to be a short gain on 1st down, so 2nd and long here, and they're going to keep it on the ground nonetheless, and a beautiful move there.
And that's the other Schuhen boy, that's Dalton. And Dalton brings a load, but he also, as you can see, he's done quite a few times this year. He's jumped over a few guys, which normally you don't suggest too much as a running back because you usually get filled in. But I think that Dalton can probably get away with it.
Yeah, it was a nice little jump cut there, if you will, and enough for the 1st down. So a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10 for the Blenheim Bobcats.
And Dalton's going to get spelled by Moai Bari because his helmet did come off on that play. And that's Moai Bari with the pitch.
And taken down for a decent gain there.
Yeah. Brought down by James Gibson.
Moai Bari, we recognize his name from Cougars football, of course.
Absolutely. A lot of these kids, or young men, I should say, quite a few of them on both sides of the ball, played all the way up in Cougars, specifically for me quite a few years. So very well in tune with the talent levels on both sides of the ball.
I'm going to say that was a pickup of about 7. They'll keep this one on the ground, and a beautiful cut there. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
Definitely. And that Moai Bari again, and it looks like the Panther that did make the tackle is a little shaken up.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 39 on the tackle.
20?
Or 29, perhaps?
We don't have either one on our roster. It might have been. Oh. Well, at this point, we're not sure. And
nope,
we got Tanner Schuhen outside.
Again, going outside. Oh, and a nice little move at the end to pick up an extra yard or 2 along that far sideline.
Definitely. And as you can see, with the 8-man, the field is more narrow. So there's not as much room to go there. Schuhen only has so much room on that pitch, and they did a good job of containing him.
So that was enough for a fresh set of downs. Going to bring up a 1st and 10, and you can see Blenheim, their game plan, just keep this football on the ground. They haven't put it in the air yet.
Yeah, they're not going to shock you with anything big other than the run.
And they're going to keep it on the ground again. This time the defense there, though, nice job by McGregor's.
Yeah, looked like Luke Little in on the initial tackle with a couple other fellas, Connor McDonald helping out as well.
Yeah, Tanner Schuhen held to minimal gain. They're going to mark that as a gain of about 1. So good opportunity here for McGregor to perhaps get a stop. And leave Blenheim with a tough decision whether they want to go for it or not.
Yeah. And the problem that Blenheim has right now is when they are with the run game, they can pass. Jeremy Wamas does have a good arm, but they're also going against the wind here as well. So
that's right. And as we mentioned earlier, it is a strong wind. So they're going to keep this one on the ground, and McGregor looks like they're going to hold Blenheim short. That time, number 28.
Yep, Dalton Schuin back in the game, and that was the famous Bobcat counter that's been around here in Blenheim for 30 years plus. Originally brought out of the playbook by Bob Bates way back in the day when I played out here. The counter has been here forever.
So it brings up a third and about 4 yards here, and
we might actually see
like
Blenheim go to the air
for it here, and they're going to spread it out a little bit. Too wide. Bring the running back in motion. They are going to put it in the air. Oh, and that's a nice throw and catch. An easy jaunt in for the touchdown. As you mentioned, Dalton Schuin with the reception out of the backfield, and that's the first 6 points we get on the board. A nice drive to open this game.
Definitely. Good hands on the big man. He's actually caught quite a few balls out of the backfield this year. As many as you can with the lack of passing game that they have done throughout the year, but great fake to Tanner out of the backfield, and Wamas delivers it on a rope to Dalton Schuin. McGregor might have got caught. They should have probably saw that spreaded and expected it, but I'm assuming they thought maybe it's going to be a run. And Moai Bari with the extra point.
Yeah, that is good. So a nice opening drive there from Blenheim. You got to feel good, the coaching staff for the Bobcats. You take that one after you give up the single on the kickoff, and you take it the length of the field. You only have to air it out one time, and that's on third down, and it's you convert that and you get it in for the touchdown. That's a nice message to send on your opening drive.
Definitely. Blenheim is, they've done it all season long. I'm pretty sure they're pretty confident in what they run on the offense. They're one of those offenses that, like I said, the other teams know what's coming, but you still got to stop it. That's the thing. And McGregor did a good job of holding them along the way, but in the end, Bobcats come away with 7. Moai Bari is set up for the kickoff here.
And remember, Moai Bari going to be kicking this one off into a pretty gusty breeze, so you expect a bit shorter kick, and they're going to squib it right on the first go. Not sure if that one 10 yards. Looking for a flag here.
No flags.
Oh, they are going to say that one 10 yards.
Blenheim got the ball back.
Wow, fantastic, gutsy call by the Blenheim coaching staff, but it pays off. They catch McGregor off guard, and
yeah, definitely. I wonder whether it was supposed to go a little bit longer on the squib than it did into the wind, because I think most teams are well aware of what Keyshawn Johnson can do in the return game, and not too many people are kicking it long to him. So it's kind of a bad fate for McGregor there.
They're going to go shotgun now and spread it out. So definitely a formation that favors the pass, but they are going to hand it off nonetheless.
Yep, hand it off to Tanner Schuin around the right for maybe a minimal gain. But it's nice to see Blenheim is showing a lot of different formations pre-snap. So they're trying to keep McGregor on their heels. But I think McGregor probably pretty much knows that regardless of what's going on pre-snap, they're going to run that ball as much as they can. So especially when they're going against the wind here.
And you mentioned 8-man football generally designed for more of a passing style offense, but Blenheim showing that you can run this offense with a strong running game.
Oh, definitely. And you'd be hard pressed to find as we have another run by Dalton Schuin there for a short game. You'd be hard pressed to find a better backfield in 8 or 12-man football than Dalton and Tanner Schuin. These two kids bring a load, and they played football, I think, since they could walk, it seems like. There's 4 Schuin brothers all in total, and all 4 of them have gone through the Blenheim program. All 4 of them have gone through the Cougars program, and they're football through and through. They're spread out again.
Yeah, this one going to bring up.
Looks like McGregor was offside. We got a free play here.
Yeah, flags on the field, and
Schuin is bottled up. That was Tanner.
First down run looked like, about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but as you mentioned, the flag, offside as you called it against McGregor, so that was a free play.
It's going to be a first down for Blenheim and in scoring position again. I am impressed. McGregor is doing a very good job of stringing things out, and a lot better than the last time. I've been to both games that they played this season, and McGregor is doing a very good job at least containing the Shoe-ins as best they can. So maybe the score will be a little bit lower so McGregor can get some points on the board. Oh, we have Tanner Schuin lined up in slot here.
1st and 5. They're going to pitch it back, and it's going to be a run. Whoa, Schuin with the hurdle.
Yep.
Wow. That is impressive athleticism there from big number 28.
Yeah, Dalton has done more and more of that as the season has gone along, it seems like. And it's almost like he's looking to do it now, which is smart because most players are getting nice and low for him because he brings a load, and he's knocked a few kids out this season. So he's adapted his game.
If you're a big kid, you know that the defenders, especially the DBs, are going to be coming for your ankles because they don't want to take that hit.
Definitely.
And Dalton Schoen certainly learning from that, and a nice little hurdle there.
Yeah. Yes, right over top that time, but
picked up maybe an extra yard or two before finally dragged down.
Yeah, I believe he ended up stopping his body with his face mask at the end there, though. But
we got a timeout here being called by Blenheim.
Earlier on in the season, I've followed quite a few of these games, and I've watched what Blenheim has done, and it's no doubt in my mind that defenses have said, okay, we got to get low on this guy, because I've actually seen some hits that Dalton has put on people where he could have popped it outside, and he would look back inside to run somebody over. And few Sarnia kids, I think, are probably still a little bruised up from it, from what I saw earlier on. Just some vicious hits.
Now, I've been lucky enough to watch a lot of football in the region over the last few years, and most of it, really all of it, has been 12-man football. When it comes to 8-man football, we already talked about on offense where it favors a passing game. Let me ask you on the defensive side then, when you're looking at your linebackers, if you will, are you looking at linebackers maybe that can run a little bit more than you typically would be with 12-man football?
Yeah, definitely. You're looking almost like a Pittsburgh Steelers type of defense where you have hybrids, as you call them. You got guys that can line up on a three-point stance. Oh, we got a Tanner Schuin with a handoff. You got to have guys that, either depending on the down, you got to have guys that can put their hand in the dirt if they have to as well. They can cover flats. And as well, you kind of have to go with some smaller type of linebackers, tough linebackers that can cover as well. And McGregor's got that type of talent. We have Ethan Bayless out there. That kid is not huge by any means, but he hits like he's 300 pounds. And James Bayless, the same. Keyshawn Johnson. So these kids know how to bring it.
Oh, nice job there by McGregor's defense getting some penetration. Tanner Schuin dragged down in the backfield. Looked like that was number 23 with the tackle, Jalen Butcher.
Yep. Jalen Butcher's another one where he can put his hand down on the ground. He can play linebacker. He can cover the flats. The kid is just a downright athlete. Looks like he's a little shaken, though, but it looks like they caught something there. That looked like it was the Blenheim counter coming, and Butcher must have saw something that he remembered from the last time around. So
this is a 3rd and 8 situation, and Blenheim's going to go for it here, not going to go for the field goal. And they are going to go to the air just the second time in this football game. Looked like they're trying to set up a running back screen to Tanner Schuin, but that ball falls incomplete, and McGregor, to their credit, looked like they had that one sniffed out.
Oh, yeah, McGregor had there was at least 5 white jerseys over there, so, they were expecting that. So great job by McGregor to get away with no points given up after that short kickoff. And as you can see here, there's a lot of white jerseys that don't bother going off the field here. As you say, you got Keyshawn Johnson is still out there. Butcher's in the backfield now. Jake Anderson's in the backfield. This is a totally different look for McGregor right now on offense.
That's Kelton Evans. That's going to be under center number 10, the quarterback for John McGregor in white. And they're going to keep it on the ground. Pitch outside to number 5. Oh, and he's got some space, and he's going to run away from the defense. He is gone. There is nobody that's going to catch him. The very first play on offense for John McGregor, and they've got to be fired up. Number 5, Jake Anderson takes it to the house out of the backfield.
That was a great play call, and you know what? Credit McGregor, because that was a completely different set than they've run all year long. So they have decided to go with something different to change it up here. I don't think we've seen Jake Anderson in the backfield all season. Butcher has done some fullback, but Jake has been a wideout most of the season. So they've got something that worked real well there for them.
And they're going to go for 2 here, trailing 8-1 or 7-1, excuse me. And that pass is completed. They're going to say that 2-point conversion is good. Hard to tell from this angle who it was on the receiving end. It looks like it might have been Keyshawn Jordan that caught that one in the corner of the end zone. Number 1, the explosive receiver for McGregor.
And we might add Keyshawn Jordan as well is a grade 10 student at McGregor and is playing senior level football and, doesn't skip a beat at all. He doesn't leave the field actually on senior football. Kid is quite a talent. Originally from Sarnia, we played him in the summer. He was playing for the Surgeons when I was coaching the Cougars, and quite frankly, he was the team over there. That kid was all over the field.
So after that 2-point conversion, John McGregor leads this one 9-7 because, again, they did get that point on the opening kickoff. So McGregor with the 2-point lead as it stands. That ball going to stay inbounds. Blenheim picks it up and still on his feet. Just one man left to beat.
Whoa.
Boy, that was close.
That was Mo Ibari, I believe.
Yeah, number 24, you're right.
Yeah. And Mo actually spells off one of the shoo-ins every once in a while. Once they bruise you up a bit, they put in Mo Ibari in the backfield, and he's got that speed that can get the corner. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Blenheim responds here.
You wonder if, let's be honest, John McGregor's only been on the field on offense for 1 play, and that was a touchdown. So, and a lot of them going both ways. You wonder if maybe fatigue might become a factor if things don't change here a little bit. You mentioned a lot of the players going both ways.
Yeah, definitely. And as we can see right there on that run, the field is a little slippery out there. We had some rain this morning and some footing injuries there, or footing problems there for Tanner Schuin.
Schuin just picks up about a yard. As you mentioned, he slips on that cut, and even during warm-ups, as I was watching, you could see some of the players having some footing issues, a couple slips and slides.
Yep.
So certainly footing an issue.
Yep. This field has come a long way since I played on it. My brother, the head coach of Blenheim, we got Wamas, and handoff here to Tanner Schuin again.
Ooh,
good tackling.
At the end there, too.
Oh, definitely.
Schuin takes a nice shot.
Yeah, but like I was saying, my brother's coached out here for a lot of years, and he's put a lot of time and energy in this field, and so we're actually playing on a pretty good field considering. But even with this fall weather, it can torture any field, especially the way it's been.
Do you still have your leather helmet from here?
Yeah, I think I got it somewhere. I definitely still hear the ocean when I'm nowhere near it, so I guess. And this is Tanner
with
again.
A nice carry there. He eludes one would-be tackler almost in the backfield. Looked like he picked up another 4 or 5 yards before he's finally brought down. That's the one thing you notice, too, with the Schuins in the backfield. They don't go down after initial contact. No. It really takes at least a couple to bring them down.
Yeah. Tanner is more of a slicer type of runner than Dalton. Dalton's just looking to run people over.
Yeah.
Tanner can run people over as well, but he's got a little bit better footwork. He does do quite a bit of cuts. Earlier on in the season, I told him to stop cutting before he hit the line of scrimmage, actually.
They're going to put this one in the air. We have flags on the play. Oh, that pass off the target because it looked like number 17 for Blenheim there, Evan Brady, had the defender beat there, but the pass a little bit off the mark. But we'll wait and see what the flag is here.
I'm wondering whether McGregor was offside again here.
Don't forget, Blenheim still going. It is against Blenheim. You're right. Yeah. Don't forget, Blenheim still going into the win here. So likely a tough throw to judge.
Definitely. Yeah. But they are, credit Blenheim. They are they're keeping the passing game going, keeping McGregor guessing. The last time they played out here, these two teams played. They played out here in Blenheim. I believe Wamas for Blenheim had passed 4 times in the whole game, and 2 of them were picked. So
okay.
It's good that they're trying to establish some pass game.
They're going to go to the air here. Wamas dropping back, and he's got pressure immediately. Gets it out to Tanner Schuin, and nice blocking out in front of him. staying behind his blockers. Good running from Tanner. Finally dragged down, but enough for a first down and more.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a nice setup there from Blenheim, getting the ball out to Tanner Schuin, and then the blockers getting out in front of him.
Absolutely.
And he's a very patient runner. You can see him waiting for his blockers to set up.
Well, the beauty about these kids at this age and this level is they have played so many years of football that those little things like being patient, setting up your linemen, it's old school to them by now, right? Normally at grade 11 level, you played 2 years of football the way it used to be.
That's right.
And it's a quick handoff to Tanner.
Good defense there from McGregor.
We haven't seen Dalton Schuin with the ball for this whole set. I'm wondering whether he's maybe a little nicked up, or I'm not really sure at this point.
That was, you're right, Tanner Schuin again with the carry, and we don't see Dalton Schuin on the field right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen it in Dalton's hands since he did his acrobatic move. Yeah, so I'm wondering whether it hurt him a little bit more than he thought. So right after we say that, he'll probably get it right here. And he did.
And there he is. And look at it.
And look at Marshall McCormick, 56, right out in front, leading the way for him. Another ex-Cougar. And
so we mentioned Dalton Schuin with the carry there, and you can just see what his size does when he carries that football between the tackles. Carried a couple of tacklers from McGregor, at least a couple yards.
Yes, definitely. Well, I think I saw his dad at the first game, and I said, I don't know, the Schuin boys are so big, and I said he's really maxing out that space between that 2 and that 8 on his jersey, and his dad kind of thought that was pretty funny. So
they're going to hand it off, and that is Tanner with the carry.
Yeah, and tackled by James Gibson, and that is the end of the first quarter.
You got to think McGregor's getting tired of being on offense. Of being on defense here.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, as we mentioned earlier, just one offensive play and it went to the house. So
yeah, definitely
a lot of defense here for McGregor in the first quarter of this football game. Really, if we had a clock visible, I would say that McGregor's actually had the ball on offense for about 8 seconds.
Yes.
In this first quarter.
That's probably about right, because Jake Anderson is very fast, so 8 might even be long. He might be more around 6 for that run. And it's ironic because of the squib kick, whether it was supposed to happen, that it was supposed to be as short as it was, or whether the wind pushed it back and Blenheim getting that ball. That was unfortunate for McGregor's offense, but I think with what McGregor is what we saw with their offense for that whole one play, they're looking at eating up some clock with that offense rather than giving the ball back right away to Blenheim, which is what's happened in the first 2 times.
So it looks like we got first and goal here for Blenheim. They're going to look to go outside. Wamas puts it in the air. He had a receiver back there, and they're going to say it's caught for the touchdown.
And that is...
Well, it's a long ways for us to see from here. But
that's Brady, I believe, number 17.
Evan Brady?
Evan Brady with the reception. There's a great play fake inside by Jeremy Wamas and a roll out and into the back of the end zone. And that's the good thing about the pass game when you stick with the run. When you go to it, it's unexpected quite a few times, and they've gotten McGregor maybe lulled to sleep a few times, as you can say.
So they're going to go for 2 here. Adding that 6 points, they've got 13. They're up 13-9. They're going to fake the handoff to Tanner Schuin, put it up in the air. It's tipped twice. Great job on defense there by McGregor. Looked like it was Keyshawn Jordan that knocked that one down. So the 2-point attempt is failed. John McGregor's defense does a good job there.
So we're finally, after this, we're gonna see. After this kickoff, we're hopefully going to see a little bit more from McGregor's offense, because I'm excited to see what the plan is here after seeing a completely different setup than they played all year. And I'm sure, knowing the Blenheim coaching staff, after that first play, they've scrambled on the sideline and have come up with some sort of answer to that set that they were up against.
And you're referring to Jake Anderson, the receiver who was lined up in the backfield in that I formation. He was the deep back with the fullback in front of him.
Yes, definitely. And, even up until a couple weeks ago, Jalen Butcher was not even playing offense. He was playing just defensively, and he's just too much of a talent to not have on offense. So Moai Bari's set to kick.
And they've got the wind at their back this time, and it is a short directional kick.
Yeah, I believe that the first one was probably the same, where they were just trying to keep it out of Keyshawn Jordan's hands, because I don't know how many he's brought back to the house this year on punts or kickoffs, but the games that I've watched down the stretch, there's not a team that will kick it anywhere near him.
Okay.
To the point where actually with the narrow field, a lot of times you're seeing kickoffs going out of bounds, which is a major penalty against the team, but teams were taking the risk of a penalty rather than have this kid bring it back on you.
Yeah, and that just tells you how dangerous he is. It's a real nod, actually, to a real credit to the return man. So
yeah, definitely.
1st and 10 here for McGregor. Again, it is Kelton Evans under center. They're going to go with the two-back set. Again, you're seeing Jake Anderson deep in that I formation.
And
they're going to throw it in the air right away. Oh, a nice move there by the receiver on the outside.
And I believe that's Clay Shreve outside, the lone receiver. Oh, maybe. Actually, sorry.
I think that might have been Keyshawn Jordan, actually.
Keyshawn. Normally, Shreve is on the other side, I believe, but with the backfield the way it is. Oh, and they're running the hurry up here.
Yeah, not wasting any time at all.
Yep, which is good if you are having sustained drives, but otherwise not so good if you're going to give the ball right back to this Blenheim offense.
2nd and 4, they're going to keep it on the ground here. And a nice job by Blenheim's defense, bottling up the middle of that line. Not a lot of room to run there. I think that was Jake Anderson with the carry number 5 for McGregor.
Yeah, I believe so. And what's unique about this set, set that they've got set up by McGregor, is Keyshawn has been the one that's been doing the running up until this week when they did run the ball. And he's now the wideout. So everything's kind of been turned on its head for McGregor.
They're lined up to go for it. 3rd down and about, we'll call it a long 3.
Yeah.
And we've got a timeout on the field.
So this is a good timeout by the McGregor coaching staff, Tim Regan. Darren Ebert and Ryan Shreve over there. I think maybe even Curtis LeBute. They got them all out there. Good time out here. Deep in your own end. You want to sustain this drive. You want to make sure you have the right call.
Yeah, because the football as it stands right now is at about their own, looks to be about their own 40-yard line.
Oosh. Yeah.
So
this is this has got a lot to do with McGregor's respect for Blenheim's offense. Yes, they would be handing it over to them in their end, but the chance of making these 3 yards and keeping them off the field for a little bit longer is worth the gamble in their eyes right now. So.
And you'd be kicking into that strong wind as well.
Absolutely.
So all of that probably, as you mentioned, factoring into the decision to go for it on 3rd and. As we mentioned, a long 3 here. They're going to go with the I set. They're going to fake the pitch outside. No, they do go with the pitch. Looks like Blenheim's got it sniffed out.
Oh, and it's lateral
pitch
back.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
in
geez,
a world of trouble there, McGregor, and they're forced to swallow it up eventually.
I believe now they might be down to about McGregor's 20, and now McGregor just has taken a penalty by throwing the ball. That's not a good penalty to take.
As we mentioned, that ball originally started in, looked like Jake Anderson's hands, and it ended up in Jalen Butcher's hands after the lateral because Anderson knew he wasn't going to make it and thought, well, I've got a chance to lateral it to my teammate. Maybe he can make something happen on the other side of the field, but Butcher had nowhere to go, and he was dragged for that loss.
You know what? A great spur-of-the-moment thought by Anderson, too, because Jalen Butcher, has played quarterback. Played quarterback for the varsity Cougars this summer, and he was looking to pass it, but he just did not have any time. And like I said,
this field position by Blenheim. This is not the situation McGregor wanted.
Well, McGregor took an extra 15 at the end of that play for throwing the ball, and that's just unacceptable.
It looks like we got an offside against McGregor here.
Yep, Moai Bari with the toss. Just one of those situations where you have to keep your cool. As much as it's frustrating, a 15-yard penalty when you've been brought down on your 20-yard line is just, it's something to make a coach go crazy.
Looked like one of the defenders for McGregor was trying to time the snap count there, and Blenheim going to decline the penalty.
That would be another thing that drives coaches crazy as well, Mike. Trying to time it's pretty easy to look inside at the ball. And when you're trying to time something to get an extra second, if you're playing NFL maybe, but at this level, you end up jumping offside more than not.
Second, and it looks like second and goal from about the 1 yard line. They're going to hand it off.
And he's in.
And that's in. And virtually untouched.
Yep. That's Blenheim has got some very good offensive linemen out here. They've been playing again as well. They've been playing football for a lot of years. We got, as I had said earlier, Marshall McCormick has been playing forever. He's a big load out there to run people over. It's all about smash mouth football out here in Blenheim again finally, and it's nice to see. The years that they were very successful, through the 90s specifically, they always had a great running game out here, even with the 3-down football.
The kick is up, and it is good.
And actually, Chris Van Ray, too, is a name to be mentioned. This kid is, if you saw him walking towards you, you would never believe he's an O-lineman. He's way too pretty, and he's tall, but he's not big. But this kid knows how to move people. And between him and McCormick and Connor Charlton, they move the ball pretty well.
So we'll see, leading now 20-9, Blenheim we'll see if maybe that scenario changes any coaching decisions later on in this football game when it comes to a third down where McGregor's on their side of the field, if they decide to roll the dice again or if they'll kick it away.
Well, I might have came out in that second drive with their old set. You know what I mean? You showed them the new set, you had success, but we'll see what they're going to do.
And there's
that's going to that would have went right out of bounds if we would let it go.
Nice.
That's a heads-up play by McGregor, but also at the same breath, there was no doubt that ball was going out of bounds, which brings it up 15 yards from where it went out of bounds. But good that they did end up maintaining it.
Colin Van Duzen's showing he's got some pretty good hands. That ball on a line drive, he just snatched that out of the air.
Yeah, I'm guessing Van Duzen might have played some baseball in his time because that was some pretty quick body reaction there. So it looks like they're going back to their normal set. We got Anderson out wide now. So this is probably a good idea.
Yeah, Keyshawn Jordan, the deep back. And he's got Jalen Butcher in front of him.
Yep.
And they're going to pitch it outside to Keyshawn Jordan. Makes a couple men miss, but push out of bounds there. Good job by Blenheim to string that out.
Blenheim is prepared for this run game. I think they must know that the only way McGregor was going to come in here and have a chance of beating them is by establishing some sort of run game, which they didn't have the first two times around. So they prepared.
They're going to say no gain on that first down carry. So 2nd and 10 here for McGregor at about midfield.
A lot of movement, all following Jalen Butcher. They've picked up something, I guess, on wherever Jalen is lined up.
And they're going to go to the air here. Kelton Evans looking for a receiver. A nice throw out there to Jordan, but good defense from Blenheim.
Great job. Probably a pickup of about maybe 6.
Well, again, that's going to bring up an interesting call here on third down, although McGregor does have better field position this time around for this third down decision than they did the previous drive where they ended up turning it over on downs.
Well, it looks like it's going to be 3rd and very short.
Yeah.
3rd and about 1.
And that helps in the decision-making as well, doesn't
it? Definitely does. And you know what? Kelton Evans is no stranger to the quarterback sneak. He's done probably as many of those as he's thrown touchdowns to Jake Anderson over the last 8-9 years. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a sneak here.
Well, we mentioned the breeze out here today, and the temperature, could be a factor. You get some cold hands out there a little bit too, especially if you're on the sidelines a fair bit, depending on if you're playing both ways or not. But they're going to bring the sticks out here to measure. But with the temperature, with the wind, you figure the wind chill, we got to be close to about just 3 or 4 degrees out here today.
Probably. I think you're right. We are nice and tucked into the back of the truck here, which is one of the main reasons that I agreed to this whole, other than, of course, working with Mike. But
you're too kind. Clearly, it was because we were going to be in a truck protected from the elements.
Yeah, that could be. I figured I was coming. I was coming either way. This way, I'm nice and warm. So.
Yeah, we do have that advantage. Great turnout here today as well, with the number of fans on the sidelines for this again 8-man championship football game between Blenheim and John McGregor. John McGregor with the football here. We are at Blenheim District Secondary School in Blenheim, and big third down here, 3rd and 1 for John McGregor. Panthers going for it.
Kelton Evans making some adjustments, taking a look around. Oh, and he's
going to go shotgun now.
Yep. Well, we won't see the sneak then.
He's going to go to the air looking for the receiver on that quick slant. Oh, a nice catch there, too.
That's a great play call right there.
A big catch, and guess who that was? That was number 20, Colin Van Dusen, who we said had some nice hands on that kickoff.
I guess he earned the right to catch one.
So, again, they're going to go hurry up here. McGregor is.
Well, when they're all stacked in the box on 3rd and 1, that slant's pretty wide open. So, and Van Dusen has had great hands all year, usually from tight end.
So, Kelton Evans going to pitch it outside.
And this is Anderson again from the backfield.
Does a nice job just using that speed. Blenheim just forced to stretch it out and force him to take it out of bounds, but nice pickup on first down for the Panthers.
Definitely. That's going to make it about 2nd and a long 3 or a short 4, depending on which way you want to go. Yeah.
Kelton Evans eyeing the defense and directing traffic in his backfield, bringing Jalen Butcher up to the line.
And Matt Lee moves over across from him, another ex-Cougar.
And he's going to go to the air right away. And there's a nice quick throw to his man. He's laid up his tight end, and he's going to take it to the house. Beautiful job there, Jalen Butcher.
What a great call.
Kelton Evans moves Jalen Butcher up to the line to that tight end position, and then just a quick hitter to Butcher, and he just uses his elusiveness to get away from the first would-be tackler, and then it's wide open to the house.
Definitely. Great play call.
So do you? Looks like almost you want to credit Kelton Evans there for recognizing the defense in the formation. He takes Jalen Butcher and moves him up to the offensive line in the tight end position and takes advantage of the formation.
Oh, definitely, and him being off the line a bit too helps because. So you're going for 2 here. We'll finish that in a second.
You're going to go to the air for 2. Just lob it up. Let the receiver make a play.
And that was to Clay Shreve. Nice adjustment by Clay. Just couldn't pull it down.
So they fell on that 2-point conversion. Looks like we got a flag, though. Looks like they're going to put the ball back. Just trying to get the call here.
Yeah. I don't see any flags on the field.
Not sure what the reason is here that they're going to replay this 2-point conversion.
Maybe perhaps it wasn't blown in and McGregor was a little too quick. I'm not really sure.
Nonetheless, they're going to get another shot at going for 2 here. So the Panthers going to line up with 2 in the backfield. Okay. Now we've got the
Now we're going to have a conversation at the Blenheim bench because they're going to wonder what the heck's going on.
Yeah, they're trying to understand, as we are, why that failed 2-point conversion that failed is going to get another shot for McGregor to convert it there.
It was a quick explanation, I'll tell you that, because Brian Lockery is already on his way back from the Blenheim bench. Oh, he's going to have a chat.
We'll see if we can't pick up some of the discussion from here.
We can't hear a thing.
No, we cannot.
Now, going back to that play, since we can't hear anything there, the great thing about it as well was with Jay Lynn not on the line as a specific tight end, it's hard to jam him coming off the line to get a free release. So as a kind of more of a slot, he had a free release there, which normally he wouldn't get against this Blenheim defense if he was down on the line. So it was a great call all around.
So here we go. John McGregor going to get another shot at this 2-point conversion that failed initially, but for whatever reason, they're being allowed to replay it.
We're uncertain still.
And they're going to pitch it out to Anderson. Oh, he fumbles it.
On the ground.
So
that's going to be a dead ball. That's a dead ball anyways.
It doesn't matter. It is. It's a failed attempt.
Yep, definitely.
So good job by Blenheim's defense there.
Yep, definitely good job.
McGregor gets 2 shots at it and isn't able to convert it.
1 drop pass and 1 fumbled ball. So far, a very entertaining game and very close. Nice to see.
Yeah, 20-15 now is the score, with Blenheim on top and getting the football at their. This must be an 8-man rule.
It must be.
I mean, for a 2-point conversion, generally, if you fail at 2-point conversion, you still get a kickoff. But apparently, that's not the case here.
I'm confused myself. And
so
there's Tanner Schuin.
Tanner Schuin. We're getting a good vantage point here of the Blenheim offense.
Definitely.
Now on this side of the field, with the wind at their back in the second quarter.
Maybe we'll see them go to the air a little bit more. I know if Coach Pugh goes to the air a little bit too much, I know that there's a few defensive coaches down there that will get in his ear, specifically Chris Algie, who I've coached with over the years. My brother sometimes likes to get a little bit pretty when he doesn't need to. So hopefully Chris will keep him in check down there.
So second down here, Blenheim deep in their own end. Depending on the rules, you almost wonder if you wish Blenheim hadn't recovered that fumble.
I know. It's confusing.
Bari with the carry. Moe Bari.
Moe Bari with it. Great carry, but going
to be short. It's going to bring up a big third down here for Blenheim deep in their own end. They're going to bring a couple players on. We'll see if this is changed to a punt formation.
Yeah,
or if
I would hope
go
so.
For it.
I would think so. And we can hear Coach Ebert, the defensive guru over there for McGregor, telling his players to watch the hard count, not jump.
And that is big number 93, Richard Foster, who's going to line up to punt this one away. Don't forget, he does have the wind at his back, so that certainly helps. But that kick goes out of bounds, unfortunately, for Blenheim, because it looked like it was going to take a nice roll for them.
Yeah.
But it's going to give John McGregor some pretty good field position here.
Yeah, and again, like I said before many times, they're not going to put it down the middle to Keyshawn Jordan, that's for sure. So that plays a big factor in the kicking game today.
Yeah, look at this field position here for John McGregor on Blenheim's side of the football field already. They'll start. They're just inside the 40-yard line of the Bobcats.
Yeah, very interesting game so far. McGregor has quite well prepared for Blenheim today. Keyshawn is in the backfield again, and Jake Anderson is out wide.
Kellen Evans going to go under center here. That I formation in the backfield behind him.
Oh, we might see a Van Dusen sighting here.
So they're going to hand it off. Ooh. Oh, nice defense there.
Great job.
Getting some penetration. Looked like that was number 20 getting into the backfield. Denver Brown with the tackle, the linebacker.
Yeah, Denver Brown, another Cougar player all the way up. Just missed this last year because he spent the year in Brazil. Real rough year in Brazil. But, yeah, he's pumped up for this game.
So big second down here, and that was a loss of about 1.5 yards. We'll call it 2 yards. So a 2nd and 12 here for John McGregor. Evans going to go shotgun here. Looks like they're going to put this ball in the air, throwing into the wind. He's looking to his left, and he's got a man.
Oh, he had Van Dusen, but just a little too long.
Just off target there. Pretty decent coverage there from
Kyle Brown, I believe.
Kyle Brown, yeah.
Kyle Brown actually one game this year had 5 picks against one of the Sarnia teams. And he took, I believe, 2 of them back to the house. And I kind of thought, I wasn't at the game, but I kept thinking, why would they keep throwing his way?
No kidding.
Yes.
Boy, that's got to be some kind of high school record. 5 picks in
the game was in Sarnia, so I didn't see it, but I couldn't believe when I heard that.
So they're going to go for it on 3rd down. Looking to the right to the side this time. Anderson, nearly makes a one-handed grab.
Wow.
But that one falls incomplete. Jake Anderson had the ball in his right hand and looked to cup it, but just couldn't get enough of it, and it falls incomplete, and a turnover on downs here. for John McGregor, and Blenheim going to get the football back. So Blenheim able to escape that short punt.
Yep, and this is going to show us a little bit here now. See if McGregor, which a lot of the same kids are out there playing defense. Let's see if they keep their heads up and stop this Blenheim offensive attack. Oh, they're spread right out.
Yeah, Wamas under center. He fakes it. He's going to throw, and then a nice handoff there to.
Almost didn't even get it there. Wamas had to stretch right out to get that into Dalton Schuen's belly area there.
Decent target there for Wamas to get that ball into Schuen, and nice pickup on first down. They bring the big man in across the formation. A nice play design there.
Yeah, that's something else there. That's like some sort of counter, but stretch counter. I don't know what you would call that.
This time a little more natural formation for Schuen in the backfield.
And lots of movement.
They do get the ball to Tanner Schuen, or excuse me, Dalton Schuen.
And now we'll find out whether it's on Blenheim or McGregor for the offside. All right, so that's going backwards on Blenheim.
Yeah, it looked like they maybe had just a quick step on McGregor there, and apparently
the timing out of the backfield was not very good either. So that sometimes can really mess things up when the running back is moving up. And we have the 3-minute whistle to halftime.
Fantastic football game so far today here.
So
championship football in Blenheim. Yes. Again, Blenheim hosting John McGregor, the Panthers, in 8-man championship football. They're going to go shotgun and hand this one off to Tanner Schuen.
And a great hit by James Gibson. Now what McGregor needs to do is they need to hold him to do a field goal here.
That's going to be enough for a first down, the officials say. So it brings up a 1st and 10 for Blenheim. And you got to be thinking after Blenheim, that offense hearing the 3-minute whistle, they've got a long drive on their mind, I bet. Right now, take a lot of time off the clock and put up a score before the end of the first half.
Absolutely. I believe they'd be quite okay, though, if they had a long run right here.
So they're going to put this ball in the air. Walmus, and he's got a man down the middle of the football field. Has to turn.
Oh, what a great hit. That was Keyshawn Jordan with the hit. Kid is all over the field.
That was Evan Brady looked like had that ball in his hands. He was forced to turn in the air to make the grab. It was a little bit behind him, but had it hit him right in the hands, and he had it except for that hit coming right at the last second, and that was enough to dislodge that ball, and it comes out right at the end of the play, so it falls incomplete. That's a big play right there.
Yeah, that was a great play all around. Great throw by Wamas, great catch by Brady, and an excellent hit by Keyshawn Jordan. So just some good football all around. It's nice to watch when you're cold to see some real good football.
So Wamas going to pitch it out. A little bit of a trickery here. It's going to be Tanner Schuen airing it out, and he actually put it too far out there for his intended receiver. That one looked like it was Matt Laidlaw that was out.
Yeah, and that's kind of a bread and butter play for what we used to run. It's interesting because that was one of our bread and butters when in the early Cougars days of travel, when I had Ryan Shreve, who's actually on the McGregor sideline, was my offensive coordinator, and Tanner Schuen was our pitch pass guy from Kelton Evans. So we have Schuen for Blenheim, Evans for McGregor, Ryan Shreve was for McGregor. That was our bread and butter back then. So very interesting to see.
They're going to punt this one away on 3rd down.
And that looks like
nice directional kick there. As you mentioned, not allowing any kind of a return from Keyshawn Jordan. And you could actually see a little bit of frustration from Keyshawn Jordan as that punt sails out of bounds. He wants a chance to get his hands on that football.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would hope that every coach from McGregor has told him early on to not expect it, because you may as well get him ready to not expect that ball, because no one's going to kick to that kid. And I think the first time that they do will be the time that you'll see my brother probably lose himself if it happens today. So, but yeah, it's very interesting though to see some of this stuff where you got the combination of players that I've had over the years that doing exactly what we used to do all as one unit.
So McGregor's got the football here deep in their own end. We're inside of 2 minutes now. You got to figure. We've already heard the 3-minute whistle. Kelton Evans going to go shotgun here. Empty backfield, looking to put this one in the air right over the middle of the field, and that's caught
by Van Dusen. That's the Van Dusen sighting I was expecting soon. They actually ran that play quite a bit during the season. Just a simple tight end release. If somebody's not going to block him, it's just straight down the field.
And he's a nice big target there in the middle of the football field too. That's a nice friend to have for a quarterback.
Good hands, tall kid, and he's consistently done it all season.
So it's going to bring up a second and about 1 yard, they're going to say.
Yep. They're
going to hand this one off, looking to get to the outside and get the corner. We do have a flag.
Nope. That was Anderson with the run.
We do have a flag. It looked like it came pretty deep in the backfield, and they're going to call that. I believe that's a hold against McGregor.
That's a tough one to take at that point.
That's a shame, too, because you're only looking at 2nd and 1, and that's one that should be pretty easy to convert, you'd figure. But those penalties, especially ones like those in those types of situations, they really cause a bit of a sting.
Oh, definitely. And I didn't see it, but it obviously must have been pretty blatant for whatever ref threw the flag for it to call it at this point in the game. So right at the point of attack, I'm assuming.
So you go from a 2nd and 1 to now a 2nd and 11.
Oof. That changes up your play call quite a bit. So I would expect that they would be going to the air, maybe a quick hitter.
Evans going to line up under center here, one man deep in the backfield. They're going to, two men, sorry. They're going to pitch it out. Oh, and then they're going to put it in the air. That ball, no.
It's almost brought in by Anderson.
Anderson had it. It was a little bit overthrown, but certainly hit Anderson in the hands.
Yep.
That was Keyshawn Jordan putting that ball up in the air.
That's a new snag in it. And good attempt by Anderson to come back to the ball. Just couldn't pull it in. When he attempted to pull it in, the Blenheim player just hooked him right at the last second there. So.
Well, that's a shame because McGregor looked like they had something good going there, but then the penalty puts them in a tough position, and now they're forced to punt this one away, punting into a really stiff wind that seems to have just kicked up.
Definitely. Depending on what time is left on the clock, it might even be something to look at giving a point.
So they are going to punt this one. And a nice directional kick. They get a good hop, and it goes out of bounds. But Blenheim's going to have good field position here. And the final, you got to figure about the final minute of this first half.
That punt pretty much got back to where the first down would have been gained. So that might have been a situation where it might have been better off to take a knee in the end zone. I'm not sure how deep they were there, how close they were to the end zone, but
Blenheim's got the football now at the John McGregor 35-yard line. Going to look to add to their 20-15 lead here in the first quarter. 8-man championship football here at the high school in Blenheim, hosting the John McGregor Panthers. They're going to fake the pass. We have a flag, a pitch out to Schuin, who runs it to the outside. But again, we have a flag. You got to figure this is probably going to be a hold. Oh,
I'm wondering whether it was an alignment penalty on Blenheim. Maybe we had not enough people on the line. I'm not sure. We'll have to see here.
I believe that's going against John McGregor there, actually.
Oh my goodness. So they might have been offside again.
So they're going to decline the penalty, pick up the flag, and
wow.
Dalton Schuin got out of bounds on that one.
Good heads-up play, getting out of bounds and getting the clock stopped.
So it's going to bring up a second and about just 1 yard. Almost going under center.
And we got both the Schuins in motion.
Uh-oh.
And
we've got a dead play here.
Yeah. It looks like that play they have there when the Schuins line up at the slots. It's just a straight-out X to the opposite side, and they're handing off to either Dalton or Tanner. So it's actually quite a great design play because they're both very impressive runners, and you got to pick your poison as a defense, right? And if you pick wrong, actually, even if you pick right, you still got to deal with the Schuin that has the ball.
So that penalty goes against Blenheim. Looked like they're going to say it was a false start, so it's 2nd and 6 now. They're going to go to the air. Wamas looking for a receiver. Look, and he's hit just
hammered.
Just as he's about to let go of that football. Huge hit there from big number 23, Jalen Butcher.
Yep. Jalen Butcher with a great hit off the edge. Unblocked right to Wamas. That's the sort of hit that a lot of times you don't see a quarterback getting back up from. Jeremy Wamas is quite a big, strong kid, though.
And Wamas lucky that he was in the throwing motion there, or else that's a fumble and a free ball on the field.
Definitely. Great blitz dialed up by the McGregor's D. And Wamas is in shotgun.
That brings up a big 3rd down here. Wamas looking for a receiver. He's going to go to the air, going to the end zone, that far right side.
Dalton shoeing. It looked like they had Dalton and Tanner both running wheel routes on both outsides. And
that's a turnover on down. So McGregor doing a good job there.
Wow,
escaping any kind of trouble.
Yeah, McGregor's defense has come to play today, I'll tell you. Then you know what? They've played well all year. But they've just been on the field a lot more than you'd like. But it appears that McGregor's offense has gotten things rolling right at the right time to balance out the time on field. And we've got a heck of a ball game this first half.
And it is Blenheim leading 20-15 here in the final seconds of the first half. 8-man championship football. Again, I'm Mike James, joined by Kevin Pugh here next to me, and Jeff Brooks on the camera. Thanks for joining us here on this fantastic championship football Saturday at Blenheim District High School.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for a better first half, I'll tell you. Well, hopefully McGregor won't be getting too pretty on this. It is late.
Gonna go to the air.
Great slant to Keyshawn.
Nice pick up there on 1st down. Just go with the safe throw.
Well, that's two slant passes that have been caught for at least close to a first down. McGregor should be noting that and realizing that if that's open all day, that's a good way to march the ball.
Well, then you can come back and maybe run a bit of a slant and go and catch Blenheim off guard a little bit.
Definitely. Catch a DB sleep at the wheel at some point, a little sluggo.
2nd and 2. They're going to go to the air again on that right side, and that's Butcher with the catch.
Wow. Great job.
Butcher is a little bit slow to get up there, getting some help from a couple of the Blenheim players.
Yeah. Yep. That's a lot of these kids, they know each other very well. A lot of them have played on the same team together with Cougars, and it's great camaraderie. You knock each other out between the whistles and then help each other up.
So, a lot of movement by that was enough for a first down there for John McGregor. Under center, Kelton Evans, he's going to hand it off.
Straight. Nice beautiful spin move by
Keyshawn Jordan.
That kid has got moves, I'll tell you.
Beautiful spin move right in the hole. Gets away from a would-be tackler and able to pick up another 4 or 5 yards before he's finally dragged down. And credit to Blenheim's defense to be able to drag him down, because it looked like he had a lane and maybe was going to be able to run away from the defense. Yeah,
he was running at an angle straight at where we are sitting. And after that spin, it just seemed like there was nothing but green grass between him and us, and it closed down very quickly.
Looks like John McGregor using a timeout here. Going to call into play. Unfortunately, we can't tell how much time is left here in the first half. Don't have an exact vantage point of the clock. Kevin's going to sacrifice his seat here at the table and take a peek. 23 seconds, so a world of time really for John McGregor, the Panthers, to dial something up here.
And what a change around, really. Blenheim at midfield with a 3-minute mark, and now McGregor looking at a chance to score instead.
Kelton Evans looks like he's going to go under center here with Keyshawn Jordan, the lone man in the backfield.
Yeah, and they all adjust to where Butcher is, like they've done all game.
You got to figure he's going to go to the air here.
Yep.
He's got Jake Anderson on one side. He's looking Anderson's way. He's going to put this one in the air. Anderson coming back to the football. Nice job. Oh, nearly stays on his feet. Jake Anderson taking it down to inside the 10-yard line. John McGregor now rushing down to the field to get this one down.
Yep.
They want to stop the clock here, or are they going to go with a play? They might have called 2 plays in the huddle last time, so they were ready. They got to wait. The officials have to wait for the sticks to come down and line up before they'll start the clock again. And there it is.
And they're ready to go.
Kelton Evans going to look to the air. He's got him in.
Yeah,
We've got a pass interference there. That pass intended for big number 23, Jalen Butcher.
Yep.
And they're going to say there was some pass interference. You see the flag on the field. And
yeah, definitely a great call. Denver Brown on the coverage, just doing whatever he could to slow down Jalen Butcher.
Boy, well, that is huge. That catch by Jake Anderson. That ball looked like it was a little bit underthrown, but sometimes that is the best throw. Underthrow it, let the receiver cut underneath the DB and make the catch, exactly what Anderson did there.
Yes,
and puts them in great position to put some points on the board here and potentially take the lead before the end of the half.
Yeah, huge play by Anderson. That's the unfortunate thing is with the DB's running with his back to the ball, the receiver's looking back. He knows where the ball is, and, Anderson made a great adjustment and pulled that ball in. Huge.
So John McGregor here with a fantastic opportunity. The ball inside the 5-yard line now after that flag, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yep. With probably just seconds to go. So the whole playbook open here on the 5-yard line here for McGregor. We'll see what they're going to come out with, and there's the old man walking in front of us. Yes, it is. So we have 1st down.
1st and goal
on the
here
5
for the Panthers. This is going to be big here.
And it looks like they're lining up a high formation backfield with Butcher in the backfield along with Keyshawn.
Now they're going to move them, motion them out of the backfield. You figure they want to go to the air here. That way, if it's an incomplete pass, it stops the clock. So an empty backfield. Kelton Evans, though, going to go under center here, not shotgun. Drops back, looks to the right, quick pass, and it is a touchdown. Number 23, big Jalen Butcher.
What a great play call. And, that's the beauty of having a kid like Kelton Evans. He's played so long under center. I believe not only is he making adjustments at the line, a lot of times he's making his own calls out there. He knows exactly what to do. He looks at the defense. He adjusts the guys. The kid is brilliant, and he's very athletic.
So up 21-20 here. They're going to go for 2 to make this a 3-point lead heading to the half. And they're going to motion out Jordan to the left side, to Kelton Evans' left side. Kelton Evans under center. He's got Butcher in the backfield. Butcher motions out of the backfield, looks for the pass. They're going to put it into the end zone, and a little bit of indecision there, I think, from Kelton Evans. He had 2 potential receivers and wasn't sure if he wanted to put it out to Jalen Butcher in the flat or to Keyshawn Jordan in the end zone, and kind of fell in between both of them.
Yeah, I believe he wanted to go to Butcher, but Butcher was quite covered, and so was Keyshawn for that matter, but he ended up pretty smart play, actually. He had no lane to the end zone and just kind of put it in no man's land. So, but we have a very even more interesting ball game now going in the half.
Well, no kidding. Fantastic football here. 8-man championship football. John McGregor scoring in the final seconds here of this first half, putting up a major. Jalen Butcher, his 2nd touchdown of this football game, and he's really emerged as a star for John McGregor in this first half.
Definitely, and like I said, Butcher's a kid who, he's played all over the place before in the past, but with this McGregor team, I don't believe he was even playing a lick of offense until a couple weeks ago, just playing defensively, and it just made no sense to me to have an athletic kid like him not playing on the offense as well. And to be honest, I think maybe there might be a few people outside of the McGregor kids and the McGregor fans that would have saw this happening. With Blenheim today, but so far so good.
Going to go out of bounds.
Wow, that was it looked like the wind took it pretty good there too. So, but there can't be a lot of time left on the clock because it seemed like about 5 minutes ago we had 23 seconds. So
they're going to start with this football at their own 40-yard line. Blenheim is, and as you mentioned, maybe time for 1 play, maybe 2. Maybe a little bit of trickery here. We could look for. Maybe a hook and ladder maybe or something like that to see if Blenheim can just find a quick spark before the end of the first half.
Yeah. The only problem with the trickery, though, is you don't want to end up handing it over to the other side. So we might just see something basic, like maybe just a pitch outside, see if they can hit the outside for a cheap one before half.
So Wamas is going to go under center here, and they're actually just going to go victory formation.
Good idea.
Kneel that one down. As you mentioned, you don't want to turn the ball over, and that's exactly
Definitely
what the Blenheim coaching staff has on their mind as well. Kind of strange to think you and your brother on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, there's a few things that we are on the same wavelength there, and football is usually one of them.
Well, there you go. Fantastic first half of football. If you love football, you're loving this football game right now. 8-man championship football from Blenheim District High School. It is the visiting Panthers, John McGregor, with that touchdown in the final seconds of the first half. They are up 21-20 on Blenheim. We'll be back with second half action after this here on TV Cogeco. Welcome back to championship football here. 8-man senior championship football from Blenheim District High School. It is Blenheim hosting John McGregor. Blenheim kicking off here to start, and it's a short kick. Nice job by the up man for John McGregor to jump on that one. And McGregor will maintain the football. That was big number 99, Brad Retz, with the recovery jumping on that one. And we've got a little bit of explaining to do here to start the second half, because it is actually a 20-15 lead for Blenheim here, the home team. And what had happened was in that first half, we were trying to understand why McGregor was getting a couple of chances at a 2-point conversion after a touchdown. But what had actually happened was there was a touchdown signal, but then the other official came in and said the player had actually stepped out of bounds. So it was first and goal, and they ended up fumbling the football, and that's why they took over inside the 5. Blenheim did. It didn't actually end up being a touchdown for John McGregor.
Yep. So
that's the explanation.
Yeah, we only messed up about 3 or 4 things on it. That's all.
And based off of the call that we saw on the field, that was a touchdown. And apparently the side judge came in and said, actually, that player for John McGregor stepped out of bounds before he got into the end zone. So it wasn't a touchdown. And then they had it first and goal. They failed on first down. Second down they attempted, and it was a fumble. And that's why Blenheim took over the football inside their own 5-yard line. We didn't understand why they had started inside their own 5, and that was the reason, because it wasn't a 2-point conversion. It was actually a second down play. So
that's when we got very quiet, because we weren't really sure whether why that ruling wasn't.
That's right. So Kelton Evans going to the area here for John McGregor. Nice pass down the middle of the football field. Big number 23, Jalen Butcher with the reception. And that's going to bring up, looks like a third and very short here for John McGregor. So again, Blenheim leads this one 20-15. Again, this is 8-man championship football here on TV Cogeco, brought to you from Blenheim Secondary School here in Blenheim, obviously. Mike James here, joined by Kevin Pugh and Jeff Brooks on the camera. Thanks for joining us here. 20-15. Blenheim leads this one. John McGregor, the Panthers, with the football right now. Kelton Evans under center, third and short. They're going to go the air. A quick slant. Oh, and that ball is dropped. It's going to be turned over on downs. A little bit low there, but Jake Anderson had his hands on it, just couldn't reel it in. That ball thrown about knee height, and Anderson just had some troubles pulling it in, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Blenheim going to get the football here, 1st and 10 inside their own 50-yard line.
Not a bad call, just a little bit short of a pass. Worth giving it a shot, and Blenheim takes over. Wamas is under center.
They've got the wind at their back to start the second half here. Blenheim does, but they're going to put it on the ground, and boy, somebody just got absolutely blasted on that tackle attempt.
Oh, we've got some flags
right afterwards, so that's going to tell you right there that's objectionable conduct.
Yeah, that was Dalton Schuin doing what he does best. So we were talking about early first half. He was doing quite a few jumps, but that's what I was referring to earlier when he does bring a load, and it looks like maybe something was said
It is against John McGregor.
Yep.
And that came after one of the defenders. And I mean, good on the defender to try to make that tackle, about waist high, but absolutely got blasted by that big body of Schuhen. And definitely felt the punishment there for trying to make that tackle up high. And that's why you're seeing people try to go low, and he's hurdling defenders. So he's a tough man to bring down.
And again, that's just one of those calls. You, as a coach, it kills you. You take an extra 15-yard penalty for running your mouth.
So 1st and 10 here, Blenheim. They're going to hand it off going inside. That's Tanner Schuhen with the carry.
And bottled up by a host of McGregor Panthers.
And he is dragged down, but again, Tanner carries that pile an extra couple, 2-3 yards, and that's always key when you're running back, can pick up those extra yards after contact, always falling forward. And it seems like both Schuhens do that when they carry the football. Definitely.
Not only are the Schuhens they're big, but they're also low center of gravity. They're not the tallest guys in the world. I usually refer to them as sawed-off Coke machines, and they do drag some bodies along.
So second and about 4 yards here. Good job by John McGregor bottling up the middle of that line that time.
Yep, and that was Dalton Schuhen, I believe, on that play. The good thing is that the two of them don't wear both single digits or both double digits, so we can kind of tell them apart because they're similar running styles, similar body styles or body sizes. So,
as you mentioned, the only real difference between the two of them is Tanner is maybe a little bit more of a slasher, whereas Dalton is more of a straight-ahead north-south type runner.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be Tanner that
again.
time. And that's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards on 1st down.
I'm hoping that I'm not seeing it. Looks a little bit like McGregor's getting a little down here on defense, and I hope that's not the case because they're quite in this ball game. They got to get their heads up and keep playing hard.
Not sure. I know these are young men, but fatigue can sometimes set in. And, boy, that defense was on the field a whole lot in that first half, especially the first quarter. We mentioned it. They were probably only on the field about 8 seconds because they had one offensive play, and it went to the house. So the defense was on the field a fair bit in that first half. And, as you mentioned, a lot of the players playing both ways.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. We have Butcher who doesn't come off the field. Keyshawn Jordan is another one that plays both sides of the ball nonstop.
So 2nd and about 6 here for Blenheim. Wallace under center. And we've got somebody jump there on defense, maybe some contact after jumping across the line.
Yep, it looked like about 3 or 4 McGregor Panthers jumped on that. And I think what Blenheim might be doing a little bit is a little bit of a hard count. They know that McGregor is chomping at the bit to get off the ball, and maybe Jeremy Wallace is giving a nice hard count to help him out with that.
Well, that's a tough one to swallow there. You give him a free 5 yards, so that brings out a 2nd and short 1 for Blenheim. So the entire playbook you got to figure is open on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Wallace under center.
Wallace going with the hard count there. You're going to hand it off up the middle as Tanner keeps those legs churning and carrying some would-be tacklers. Finally dragged down, but easily picks up the 1st down yardage.
Yeah. And it looked like Schuhen went to go outside a bit and just cut it back against the grain, which a lot of times a lot of running backs don't know is a good thing to do. When you have the whole defense going one way, if you cut back against the grain, you got nothing but guys going to the other sideline. So great job by Tanner to cut it back.
And Tanner's tough to see behind the meat of that line too. And this time it's going to be Dalton with the carry. Finally dragged down by a whole host of tacklers, about 5 John McGregor Panthers in there to make the stop.
And as you can see, all those McGregor Panthers, they're all batting at that ball, trying to knock it free, which is a sign of a good defense as well. Turnovers are huge in this game. And every single one of those McGregor Panthers were all swatting at that ball.
Brings up a 2nd and short here for Blenheim. Nice job there.
Great job by Jalen Butcher in the backfield, almost taking the handoff.
Great penetration from Butcher, and that's a big play because that brings up a third down now. Might have even lost some yardage on that one.
Yep, they definitely lost a couple on that. He pretty much got to Tanner Schuin at the same time as Tanner got that ball.
So it brings up a big third down here, third and about 1.5 yards for Blenheim, deep in John McGregor territory.
Yep.
And they're going to hand it off right up the middle.
I believe it's going to be enough for the first down.
Yeah, they are going to say fresh set of downs. Look like they got it by about 6-7 inches. And that brings up a fresh set of downs here for Blenheim. Now going to be first and goal for this Blenheim squad.
And McGregor is got a lot of McGregor players got their hands on their hips. Getting a little bit tired out there. Good thing it is cool.
Bobcats going to look to add to their 20-15 lead here. They're going to run it. Pouncing it to the outside is Tanner Schuin. Are they going to say he got the corner? Waiting for the signal. Tough to tell, too, because that pylon on the far goal line has blown over.
Well, it looks like it's going to be second down and goal. And you could hear McGregor's sideline. We're hollering for a hold there on the edge.
Just second and inches here from the goal line. You got to figure either you're going to go with a QB sneak here or you're just going to give it to your short yardage guy, Dalton Schuin, and that's where it's going to go. Dalton Schuin going to go right over the edge, and he's in for the touchdown. Big number 28 rumbles in around that corner, and they put another 6 on the board. Blenheim does a nice drive to open this second half. So Blenheim up 26-15, and we'll see what they decide to do here. Looks like they're going to go for the single extra point. And it's up and good.
And it looks like there's a little bit of frustration mounting by McGregor. The interesting thing about what's going on now at the high school level and as well as the Cougars level as well, any sort of combination of unnecessary roughnesses or objectionable conduct, if you have a combination of 3, you are no longer in the game. And there was some discussion, as you can see there, right after that touchdown that with Jalen Butcher and the coach that he's at 2 at this point. So it becomes almost like a basketball situation where, you kind of have to look at making sure that they don't get that third one.
Yeah, if you've got, 5 fouls and you don't want to get that 6 because then you lose the player for the rest of the game, whatever's left in that game. And we've got a whole second half of football virtually here with Blenheim up 27-15. Again, 8-man championship football here from Blenheim District Secondary School.
Well, and you can understand the concern by Coach Tim Regan. You've got a guy like Jalen Butcher who's playing both sides of the ball. If he gets that third one, you're in a lot of trouble there.
Oh, that ball bounces up to Jalen Butcher. Takes a couple of shots before he's finally dragged down. So the John McGregor offense now trots onto the field, and they've got some work to do now after that score by the Bobcats.
They definitely have to come away with some points on this drive and get the momentum back and give their defense a little bit of a break. It needs to be a nice sustained drive here. Get the momentum back on their side.
So John McGregor trailing 27-15. Kelton Evans going to go under center. He's got an I formation in the backfield, and that's that change that you mentioned in the first half with Jake Anderson lined up as the deep back.
Yep. And Keyshawn Jordan out wide.
They're going to throw it, and it's picked off by Blenheim.
Some miscommunication there between Kelton Evans and Keyshawn Jordan.
That is number 30 with the touchdown return on defense.
Braden Pegg. Yeah, and Braden Pegg, well known for his hard-hitting ability, comes up with some good hands there.
So Braden Pegg puts a big dent into John McGregor's chances in this one, although we do have a lot of time left in the second half. But that pick six by Pegg puts Blenheim up now 33-15 with the extra point pending.
And now we are seeing a lot of frustration on the sideline at McGregor, and hopefully they can get themselves under control and realize there's still a whole bunch of ball game left.
There's the snap a little bit low, and that kick is up and good. So after that interception return for the touchdown, Blenheim now up 34-15 early in this third quarter.
Really quickly. This is where, as a coach, it's very hard to keep your kids in the game, because that's quite a turnaround there, and you need to realize as a player that could happen the other way around too, and to get them to buy into that sometimes is a really hard sell. But if you lose your composure, there's not much of a chance of it happening at all. But I've always told my kids, if you're down 40-0 in a half, you can either roll over and die, or you can realize that you can score 40 points in the second half.
That's right.
It's really up to you.
You can see, you talked about the miscommunication there on that pass attempt from Kelton Evans to Keyshawn Jordan. They're having a bit of a conversation there on the sidelines with the coaching staff to get that sorted out, because you certainly don't want that to happen again.
No, definitely not.
And that's good on them for trying to figure that out and make sure that doesn't happen again here in the rest of the second half. So the short kick there to avoid the return from Keyshawn Jordan gives John McGregor good field position.
And Jalen Butcher caught that ball right in mid-flight, which was good. I don't know. You kind of have to pick your poison. You want to kick it deep to Keyshawn Jordan, or do you want to squib kick it to Jalen Butcher? I think either way, it's not a great situation for you.
So John McGregor's offense back onto the football field here, trailing 34-15. Again, 8-man championship football, senior level here from Blenheim District High School. I'm Mike James, Kevin Pugh joining me, and Jeff Brooks on the camera. I hope you're enjoying this fantastic football Saturday here, because we certainly are. Great football here at the high school in Blenheim.
I'm just hoping that we see McGregor come back with a mounting drive here. You got to get some momentum back in your favor.
Yeah, certainly do. Kelton Evans going to go the air. He pumps once and then goes deep for his receiver, but that ball going to be overthrown. Jake Anderson, the intended receiver. Good coverage there from Braden Pegg, who had the pick six there early on the last offensive drive for John McGregor.
Yep. This looked like, again, maybe not on the same page there between Anderson and Evans. Or maybe the ball just floated a little bit. Not really sure at this point.
Yeah, the John McGregor Panthers with the wind at their back. And as we mentioned throughout the broadcast, a sizable wind at that. It's been pretty gusty out here.
Yes, definitely.
So 2nd and 10 here for John McGregor, the lone man in the backfield. Keyshawn Jordan, they're going to draw back to pass it. Kelton Evans looking for a man. Looked like, again, some miscommunication or an errant throw. Either way, nobody really in the vicinity for that one, except for a Blenheim defender.
Yep, and it looks like McGregor is going back to the what they've been playing all year, which it makes sense to a degree. You want to get a quick strike, but in the same breath, if it ends up being a two and out or 3 and out, it's not helping your defense at all.
And what's certainly not going to help John McGregor here is the fact that Blenheim is a run-heavy offense. That's going to take some time off the clock. Also going to beat up your defense. It's going to start to take its toll.
Yep. Oh, and they're going with a fake?
Wow, the fake punt. And they're going to come up short, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting call. But at this point, when you're down a few scores, you kind of have to look at some unorthodox ways to try to get some momentum back on your side.
So Blenheim does a good job there covering on the fake punt. They'll have some decent field position at about midfield here. You're still going to have to rely on your defense to come up with a big play or two here in this second half, trailing 34-15. So at midfield, it really doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to see much air game out of Blenheim. There's no need to. They're going to just continue to pound it, and that's what we see right here with Dalton Schuin. There's really no reason for them to go in the air unless, McGregor gets in the end zone once or twice, and it becomes a little bit closer. But I think we're looking at a whole bunch of ground and pound from this point forward by Blenheim's offense.
Yeah, and that's not a big change from what we saw in the first half, is it? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's just a heavy run offense, and it's worked for them to this point. Then they get that contribution from their defense on the pick six. That's really big for that Blenheim squad, who here in the confines of their own home can try and salt this one away by just keeping it on the ground and playing to their strengths.
Yeah, here we have.
Oh, and we have that
my
fumble.
goodness.
That's the big play that John McGregor needed, but good hustle there from big number 64 to
That's
jump
Van
on
Ray.
that one.
That's Chris Van Ray, I believe. 64, yeah. He's the one I was talking about earlier that you would never believe is an offensive lineman. So his speed getting out in front there, very helpful for Dalton Schoen by getting that ball back.
Yeah, good job by Van Ray to be around the football. You're always telling your players, listen, just keep running towards the football, because if something happens, you can be Johnny on the spot to jump on it, and that's exactly what Van Ray was.
Absolutely, and Dalton Schoen needs a hold of that ball with both hands in traffic.
Oh, good job there on the tackle.
Dalton should be aware that, they've been trying to kick that ball out on him, so you definitely got to get two hands on that whenever you get close to traffic.
Good job by Ethan Bayless on that tackle, taking Schoen down.
And Ethan Bayless is one of those kids, like I said earlier. He gives up a lot of size, but he hits like a Mack truck, that kid. He brings it every time. Son of Kenny Bayless, who was one heck of a running back in his day.
So 1st and 10 here for Blenheim. That was enough to pick up the first down. They're going to go with a little misdirection. Fake the handoff one way and give it to the other Schoen. The fake handoff to Dalton, then they hand it off to Tanner, who runs it up between the tackles, but not a lot there. Good job by this McGregor defense.
Great job by McGregor's defense, and hopefully they can hold him here.
Yeah, they really would have benefited from that fumble recovery there, but big second down here with this John McGregor defense can stiffen up. They're going to throw to the air. Trickery, and a beautiful throw and catch just out of the outreach hand of the defender for John McGregor. And getting into the end zone is number 6, Matt Laidlaw, the wide receiver, and that's a tough one because number 34 for McGregor, Ethan Bayless, nearly got his hands on it, but just out of his outstretched hand, just out of his reach, and couldn't make the play. Yeah,
very, very good attempt by Bayless to knock that down, and quite great concentration by Mr. Laidlaw there to pull that in over top with all that movement in front of him.
So Matt Laidlaw with the touchdown reception to add to that Blenheim lead. They're going to go for the extra point here. Snap, good hold, and it's down and it's good. So Blenheim now adding to that lead. Add 7 there. So 41-15 now. It's Blenheim up in this one. And boy, has it ever changed since halftime. It was a tight game, only 5 points between the two, but Blenheim's really come out and asserted themselves in the second half.
Oh, definitely. And we even had McGregor on top at half with our mix-up. But, yeah, it was still a very tight first half. And between some really good play by Blenheim and a little bit, somewhat of a meltdown a little bit here by McGregor. And that's why we have a little timeout here along the sideline. Coach Regan has brought the whole team in, I'm assuming, to get everybody calmed down because there's a lot of guys that are showing a lot of frustration right now, and that just goes nowhere but bad.
Yeah, it's certainly tough. One of the jobs you have to do as a coaching staff is keep your kids focused and not allow them to lose their concentration because nothing but bad things happen from there. You tend to get some bad penalties, some jawing, and really it's a chance where you end up not having your focus and somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when it gets to the frustration level, which a lot of the McGregor Panther kids are starting to show, it definitely goes nowhere but bad. So hopefully we've got them focused here again. Short kick. That's going to be great field position for McGregor.
Yeah, good job by the up man that time. Looked like that might have been Rod Britton.
Yep. Who
jumped on that one.
So this is going to be interesting here because with the score being the way it is, McGregor is going to have to look at going to the air, and Blenheim's going to know that. Hopefully they don't go right to the air only, and they mix it up and get some. You got to get somewhat of a sustained drive. You don't want to become one or too predictable here.
So Kelton Evans lining up under center right now. 2 men in the backfield. They're going to pitch it out to Jake Anderson, looking to get the edge, and good job from Blenheim there.
Yep.
Getting to the edge, forcing him out of bounds after a minimal gain.
And I think with Blenheim, anytime that you see Jake Anderson in the backfield, you can expect that he's not going to run between the tackles an awful lot, because not that he can't. He's a big, strong kid, but he's very fast, so they're going to look to string him out every time.
So it brings up a 2nd and 9 for the Panthers.
Now we have Butcher flanked out to our right, and Kelton back in shotgun.
And he motions for Anderson to leave the backfield. Looks like he's in as an extra blocker and then going to run out in the formation. Kelton Evans looking for somebody. He throws it across the grain. An unbelievable catch by Jalen Butcher. Unbelievable. He's going to look to get it to the house over that corner. And they're going to say touchdown. Unbelievable play there. Kelton Evans with the throw across his body. And then Jalen Butcher with a phenomenal grab. And then outruns the defense to take it in for the 6. And you got to figure John McGregor now going to go for 2.
Yes, just another one of those plays that's great all around. The arm strength showed by Kelton Evans on that, throwing it completely across the other side of the field. It was all arm. Couldn't step into it. And the defender was right there with great coverage on Butcher, and Butcher just took it away and took it to the house. What a great play.
So here they are lining up for 2. Jake Anderson, the deep man behind Kelton Evans, who's going under center. He's going to put it in the air, looking for the middle of the field, and we get the incomplete call from the officials. So that the 2-point attempt fails. And after that 6 points from Jalen Butcher, the score now, John McGregor trailing Blenheim 41-21. There's still plenty of time left here. We're in the third quarter.
Yeah, although we're still looking at a 20-point gap, it's crucial. It was crucial for McGregor to come away with some points there, and quickly, and they did. Let's just hope that brings some momentum back to them and get some guys back refocused in this game, because 20 points can happen real quick either way. And if they don't turn it around, Blenheim can easily put another 20 on them, or if they continue to work hard. I'm assuming we're going to see maybe a short kickoff here. Even though we are not even in the fourth quarter, it might be time to try something short.
And again, it's going to require that not only John McGregor offense to continue to click, but you're going to need a strong performance from your defense to get the ball back to them. You can't allow Blenheim to continue to run the clock down with that strong running game.
Absolutely. Oh, and they're going to
kick it deep here with the wind at their back, and that's a nice deep kick too. Finally caught by Moabari deep.
And gotten out.
Decent return there from Abari after the catching that one deep. Looked like near his own goal line.
Yeah, definitely. He might have taken that out from the... But it's great. You can hear the crowd. The crowd's quite into this game. They're out there. They're freezing, but they are all into this game.
Yeah, fantastic crowd here for this championship football game. 8-man football, senior football.
And it's good to see, because we haven't seen a lot of big crowds over the last bunch of years at high school football championship levels, but this has brought out a really good crowd.
So 1st and 10 here for Blenheim. They're going to hand it off, looking to gain that left side. Wow, what a block there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Looked like it was Big 28 with the run that time. Dalton Schuin.
Oh, wow. And I'm not sure what Blenheim player had the block, but there was a great block on the edge for him. I might guess that it might have been the other Schuin if I was going to venture.
They're going to say that was a pickup of about 9 yards. So 2nd and short here for Blenheim.
And McGregor looks like they're back to being focused. And a good job.
Oh, and now we've got the rain.
Yes. We can
a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And it's starting to come down slowly but heavily. So just when we thought we had all the great elements, we throw in another one.
It just feels like good fall football, doesn't it?
Yes. Thank goodness that we had to have the electronic microphone, so we're not out in it.
So, yes, we are covered by a truck here, and you can see the umbrellas starting to come out now in the crowd.
Yeah.
They're going to hand this one off, and that's big 28.
Yep. That's Dalton, and again, I'm sure that McGregor are in there just trying to pop that ball loose, hoping to have him put another one on the ground.
Yeah, you can see Dalton shooting. He had one hand on that football, and then as he's being brought down, puts the other hand on it, puts two hands over the breadbasket, and that's the end of 3 quarters.
Yep, I can guarantee you when he went back to the sideline after that last fumble that Brian Pugh got right in his ear about having 2 hands on that ball. Brian being an ex-running back himself at the school is aware of what needs to be done correctly. So that's a little shout out to my brother that you won't hear very often. So,
and now the rain coming down pretty good.
Ooh.
Start this 4th quarter off. Blenheim up 41-21 over John McGregor. 8-man championship football, senior level. Plymouth handoff to Tanner.
A convoy in front of him. It's just one of those situations. We got to give a lot of credit to this Blenheim offensive line because, from our vantage point now, we can see a lot better straight down the field, and he's running about 6 or 7 yards before he's even getting contact with the convoy of O-linemen in front of him.
So that brings up a 2nd and 1. Not the situation that John McGregor wants to be in here. As Blenheim continues to pile up the first downs, and they're going to hand that one off to big 28 again. He gets outside, and that's plenty for the first down. Fresh set of downs coming up here for Blenheim, and boy, oh boy, Dalton Schuin just continues to rack up the yards, doesn't he?
Oh, definitely. He is a tank. They're both, like I said, both of them.
You know, if you were to ask me who he might remind me of, it's a little bit of Jerome Bettis with that black jersey on, and it's kind of Pittsburgh Steelers-esque, and he's got the size, but you know what? He's got enough speed and elusiveness that he can get to the edge like you saw right there.
Oh, definitely. He's got the tools there, and we got flags flying, and
Woomis looks like still has the ball in his hands.
And I'm wondering whether this would be another encroachment by McGregor. We've had quite a few of those, many more than what you would like as a McGregor coach to have happen.
Yeah, the one thing you want to make sure as a coaching staff for McGregor, just don't let things get out of control. Try to keep everybody focused, and you really need to come up with a big play here. And you know that ball, as you mentioned earlier, is not going in the air. You just got to be tough in the run.
Yep, exactly.
And sometimes easier said than done, because look at that.
Yep.
They're going to signal touchdown. That is Dalton Schuin with the run in. Big number 28 rumbles for another score, and they just continue to pile up that lead. When you can't stop the run, and that's Blenheim's offense, that's a pretty tough task.
Absolutely. And I don't know which game it was this year, but I do know that one game, I believe there were 7 touchdowns on the ground between the Schuin brothers. So it's nothing new to them what's going on here right now. So, and they've managed to stay healthy. I think Dalton might have been out for one game, but pretty much healthy for most of the season, the two of them.
They're going to go for the single extra point here. Moabari lining it up. Good snap and hold, and that one's up through the middle of the uprights. So John McGregor's offense gets a big touchdown, but Blenheim responds right back, and Dalton Schuin with a touchdown run. His second here in the second half, and boy, Blenheim just continues to pound that football, and you got to figure that fatigue, taking that pounding on that John McGregor defense is really starting to take its toll.
Absolutely. And what the answer is, who knows at this point. Guys got to step up. This is the time of the game where you got to put faith in your players that you've taught them everything about mental mindset and where to be, and hopefully they step up and make some stops. It's the only way it's going to give them any shot at this point.
So 48-21, Blenheim leads this 8-man senior football championship game from Blenheim District Secondary School. Nice kickoff there by Moa Bari.
Yeah,
the first time we've seen them kick it deep to Jordan. And they're going to go with some trickery on the reverse here. And
hand it off to, I believe, James Gibson. And Blenheim not fooled at all.
Well, as you mentioned, the first time we've seen them kick it off deep to Keyshawn Jordan, and they go with a little bit of trickery, but great job by Blenheim special teams to get down there, and really no gain after that little bit of trickery from the Panthers.
Yeah, and at this point of the game with this type of lead, you can hoof those a little bit deeper and let a guy like Keyshawn try to come back on you, because it's not going to hurt you as much then. But if you're in a tight game, it's the last thing that you want to do.
So 1st and 10 here for John McGregor, deep in their own end, and a tough task ahead of them. Kelton Evans motions the running backs out of the backfield. He's going under center. Clearly going to put this one up in the air. Looking to his right side and scrambling out to the right. He's going to hold on to the football, but nice job by the defender there to drag him down.
Denver Brown with the sack. Stayed right with him. Like I said, this is a frustrating scenario for McGregor, because everyone in the vicinity here knows that they have to pass the ball to get back into this game. And it's a tough sell when you're kind of have to be one-dimensional at this point.
That's a loss of 6 yards on that play. And you know exactly what Kelton Evans trying to do there, just trying to elude the would-be tackler in Brown and let him just kind of run by him and buy himself just a little bit more time to look down the field or tuck and run it himself. But to Brown's credit, he didn't allow Kelton Evans to get away.
Absolutely. And that's something as a coach that you preach all the time, because when you have a quarterback dead to rights, a lot of times you whiff on the sack because you want to make that highlight reel hit. And I know for myself what I've always coached, and I've coached Denver, and it was always, we're not looking for highlight reel hits, we're looking for breakdown and sure tackles. And Denver has always been a very disciplined player, and he broke down and didn't allow Kelton to get outside on him there.
So that brings up a long situation here for McGregor, 2nd and long.
Not many things in the playbook for this call on your end zone, but we'll see what they have dialed up.
And to make matters worse, the wind starts to pick up here right into John McGregor's face. They're going to go right over the middle. Nice passing catch. They got a man. Looked like it was Jalen Butcher maybe with the reception, but fantastic swarming defense there from Blenheim. Just nowhere to go.
Yep.
They corral him, and it's going to bring up a big 3rd down. Looks like they're close at about the original line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 10 now for the Panthers.
And you know what? As many black jerseys there to take him down, not a lot of white jerseys out there looking to block for Jalen, which is the key that you need to get him continuing to run that ball.
So Kelton Evans looks like he's going to go shotgun here. Oh, no, under center now. Evans drops back, scanning the field. He's got some pressure. He scrambles out to his right, throws across his body. Oh, and it looked like it hit his receiver right in the hands. A nice throw there to Colin Van Dusen, but Van Dusen just can't hold on to it.
That's unfortunate, because that was a great touch on the ball that Evans threw there. Just fantastic, and I'm wondering whether with a little bit of that rain, maybe a little too slick to bring in, but just a great attempt by Evans on that.
Yeah, extremely tough throw there, running to his left and then throwing that ball across his body, but not allowing it to get away from him and getting the ball on his receiver's hands. It also might have been a tough catch, too, because certainly Van Dusen had a defender right in front of him.
Yes,
and
definitely.
That certainly added an element of difficulty to that catch as well. But nonetheless, it falls incomplete. Now Blenheim's got a brand new set of downs. They take over the football deep in McGregor's zone, and you just know where this football is going.
Oh, yes, I believe so.
And
it's going to
be Tanner Schuin with the carry.
And Tanner's always seems that he's looking for that cutback lane, which again is a good idea many times, and that's that slasher part of him. And whereas Dalton looks usually to make a lane.
That's right. And as I mentioned, you know where this football is going. I am certainly referring to either Dalton or Tanner Schuin, one of the two, either number 2 or number 28, one of the two you got to figure is going to get the football. They're just going to keep this one on the ground and pound away at that John McGregor defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tanner gets it again.
And over that right side. We do have some flags. He runs that into the end zone, it looks like. Oh, just short. No signal. It's going to be close, but we did have flags come out. I think this might be a hold. This one might be coming back.
Yep. And that would be great for McGregor. If it is, we'll have to see what the call is.
Came right in the area where you happen to see, from our vantage point, looked like a hole opened right up for Tanner to run through, and that might have been the reason.
Yes, I think I might have been able to run through that hole.
So this one going to be, looks like march back against Blenheim. Looks like the wind is picked up a little bit here, but the rain has died down. So
just enough to get everybody wet, and then the wind to whip up again. So
blow right through you. It's one of those cool days where you can feel it right to your bones, can't you?
Yep. I'm very glad that we are in the truck. We were feeling quite a bit of it, but not even close to what other people outside are feeling.
So Womma's under center. That flag was against Blenheim, and they're going to hand it off. First carry of the game, I believe, for Pegg, number 30 Pegg. That time. Brandon Pegg. So I think the Blenheim coaching staff might have heard me say that we knew where this football was going. It was going to go one of the Schuins, and they said, not so fast.
Well, I believe it was a couple weeks back. They played in Sarnia, and Dalton was not able to go, and I think Pegg actually picked up a lot of carries on that day. With Dalton being out, I think he had a hamstring problem that day. And they still took it. I think it was a 50-14 final without Dalton Schuin in the game. So that it shows you that Blenheim has a lot of depth.
And Pegg, certainly worth noting, had a pick 6 earlier in this half. And certainly helped Blenheim to its big lead that it's seeing so far. Look at some miscommunication there. Looked like that ball was supposed to go to Tanner Schuin, but Wemyss holds on to it, and he's still got the football.
Wow.
Finally, the whistle on the tackle, but looked like that football was supposed to go to Tanner Schuin, but some miscommunication. Wemyss holds on to it and then is finally tackled on the far sideline.
Yeah, and Wemyss is not what you would consider a typical prototype quarterback. He actually is kind of like a power free safety as a quarterback. He's a big, strong kid, so even with the miscommunication, you're not really worried too much about him taking that hit.
So turnover on downs, it looks like there. So John McGregor going to get this football back deep in their own end. Kelton Evans going under center. They've got Keyshawn Jordan in the backfield. He's going to look to throw to his right side, and then comes back. He was going to come back to his left, but no time for that. Wow. A big sack there. Kelton Evans hammered down. Looked like that was number 84 with the tackle.
That'd be Kyle Brown, I believe. And it would have been just a DB blitz from the side where there was no receiver perhaps at that point.
Or 64, I apologize. Chris Van Ray.
Chris Van Ray playing both sides of the ball as well.
Kelton Evans looking back. They hand it off this time, and that's Jordan with the football, and he's got some space. He gets the edge, and now it's just a foot race. One man to beat to the end zone.
And he's going to get there.
Touchdown.
Wow.
McGregor, and now we have a flag at the very end.
And Pegg's going to, Braden Pegg is going to take a 15-yarder for a little slap on the back there after the touchdown. It didn't seem like it was malicious by any means, but still it was avoidable.
You wonder if Pegg didn't exactly like the signal from Keyshawn Jordan as he was running toward the end zone still that he was going in for the score.
Yeah, just a little bit of hot dog. Oh, maybe they picked up the flag.
So they're going to go for 2 here. Kelton Evans calling out the signal, and they're going to hand it off up the middle. Some good hitting there and in for the 2-point conversion. Good run there, tough sledding. Jalen Butcher.
That was a lot of hitting going on there. Jalen Butcher, son of Corky Butcher, who was a running back at CK back a long time ago, and very similar style. Run people over and very deceptively quick for his size.
Well, you wonder if the two-point conversion, they go with the run there to Jalen Butcher just so that they can maybe prove a little point and get a little bit physical there, and just maybe send a bit of a message that, hey, we haven't given up, and we're going to pound you right up the middle here and show you we can be physical too.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, Jalen and Dalton are no strangers to each other on the football field. They've connected in all three of these games many times, and I'm sure they're well aware of what the other brings to the table.
So 48-29 now. Blenheim leads this one after that John McGregor score. Big touchdown run from Keyshawn Jordan.
Wow, what a great run. And that's where when they started to get their run game going a few weeks back, that's where they got it from, was from Keyshawn in the backfield and getting it to him in space on some flare passes out of the backfield. The kid, in space is phenomenal. So good to see that they went back to what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, and it paid off.
And really, I think that speaks to the credit to Blenheim's defense, because they've done a pretty good job containing that John McGregor offense.
Yep, absolutely. I'm wondering if there was a little bit of misdirection maybe that they bought on, or whether it was just sheer speed by Keyshawn. Either way, great play.
You can hear the fans in the stands still cheering on that John McGregor Panthers defense, chanting defense, imploring them not to give up on this one. But John McGregor trailing 48-29 here in the fourth quarter.
And we got Wamas under center with the two big shoe-ins in the backfield.
And they're going to hand it off to
Dalton,
Tanner, who had Tanner out in front of him blocking.
Oh, that's a big first down and then some.
Gain of about 13 or 14 yards there on the run by the big man, Dalton Schuin.
And not even touched until he got about 12 yards. So that would be the problem on that one. Defense needs to step up and take away that edge a little bit better. It's one thing to get pounded in the middle by the big man, but you definitely got to contain that edge and not let him have it. Wamas is appearing to go up under center again.
And the two Schuins in the backfield again, and this time they're going to switch it up and give it to Tanner, with Dalton leading the way.
Exact same play the other way.
He cuts it back inside. We got a flag down.
Yeah, this is going to come back on a hold, I'm sure. But exactly the same play, just different Schuins doing different things, different side.
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect example of the different styles. That time, in the previous play, we saw Dalton with the carry. He carries it outside and ends up just getting bumped out of bounds, whereas that time, Tanner, as they get toward the sideline, he's got that cutback ability and cuts it back up inside and picks up another 10, 12 yards. But reason there was a lane there, probably because of the hold, bringing that one back.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Well, and that's huge for McGregor. We got a whole team huddle going here in McGregor again. And
looks like they're going to make some defensive adjustments here.
Yeah.
John McGregor.
Yeah, well, we've seen Blenheim is not surprising anybody with what they're bringing to the offensive table, and they're not going to for the rest of this game, I believe. They're just going to keep pounding that ball. So what they're trying to do here with McGregor is make some adjustments to take away that, maybe try to take away that outside run. But the problem there is if you take away the outside run, you've got two backs that can pound it between the tackles. So hopefully we'll see the adjustment pay off for McGregor.
Just Tanner and Josh Schuin in the backfield. They're going to go to the air this time, and it's picked off. There's the big play that John McGregor's defense needed.
That is huge.
Surprising to see Blenheim put that ball in the air.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened, and we've got a turnover.
Wow. That's a big difference right there, and I think that's Desi Rush, I believe, who took that off. He's a converted wide receiver that moved over to play some, if it was him.
Well, we had Dalton and Tanner Schuin in the backfield. Almost a certainty that they were going to get the football. Instead, Blenheim trying to fool John McGregor, but no fooling them there, and they pick off that pass. And 48-29, Blenheim leads this one, but John McGregor with the football.
Yeah, we could have a sprint to the finish here if McGregor can come up with another big touchdown quick.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be quick. You're right. John McGregor's got to get on the board, and it's got to be fast. They're going to pitch it out, keep it on the ground this time. And
that's looks like the Butcher.
Yeah, it looked like it was Jalen Butcher, big number 23 with the carry, getting to the edge and then bounced out of bounds. But a good pickup on first down. They're going to say it's a pickup of about 8 yards on that carry.
Very convertible second down. Good job.
Also stops the clock there, getting out of bounds. So good job. Every second counting here. Yes. Not sure exactly how much time is left on the 4 minutes left, we're being told. Jeff Brooks, cameraman, pulling double duty there, checking the clock for us.
I think that
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. I think Jeff saw me kind of stagger over there earlier and almost fall off the back of the truck, so I think he thought he would make sure that we weren't just down to Mike on the mic after I fall out of it this time. Thanks, Jeff.
So 4 minutes left here. John McGregor, second and short.
Yeah, and you know what? Either way this game ends, this has been a highly entertaining game, even when it's been a big score difference.
And they're going to go to the air this time.
Oh,
look to throw it. Jalen Butcher coming out of the backfield that time, but the ball comes up short. Not sure if it was tipped there on the way to Jalen Butcher, but
yeah. Well, and Blenheim dialed up pretty much an all-out blitz on that play. One of the defensive coordinators down there for Blenheim, Chris Algie, is coached with me for a lot of years and coached Kelton and likes to get him moving backwards. They call it happy feet with Kelton. If we can get him doing that, then that's a good thing for you as a defensive guy.
So third down and short here. They're going to keep it on the ground. Oh, my. Blenheim's defense comes up huge with the stop on Jalen Butcher.
Yep. And there's a good show of sportsmanship of Blenheim guys picking up Jalen afterwards, which is good. The frustration stuff seems to have subsided. And like I said, a lot of these guys, they played together for years. They know each other, you know, and you know, the kids that are on both these teams that played all the way up with the Cougars, they were always taught by us as a coaching staff that between the whistles, you try to knock some guys' block off, but then you pick them up afterwards. And it's nice to see these guys still doing it at this age. So Wamas is under center.
Tanner Butcher in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. Number 2 going to look to bounce that one outside and drag down.
Yeah.
Looked like that was Alex Formosa with the tackle for the Panthers.
Alex Formosa, another Cougar that played all the way up and one heck of a football player. The kid is usually all over the field.
Well, I've got to tell you the number of Cougars that we see, and we see it as announcers, broadcasters all the time, doing the Cougars games, watching the kids come up through the ranks. It just adds to that great level of football that we're seeing in the Chatham-Kent region, and it translates over to the high school level. Here, a great run by Tanner Schuin.
Being patient again.
His blockers out in front of him. Great job, and that's easily going to be enough for a first down. But getting back to my point, watching these players play Cougars football and watching them play high school football, you know, everybody really benefits from the two programs at the high school level and then at the Chatham-Kent Cougars program outside of high school, really giving kids an opportunity. As you mentioned, back in the day when it was you or I, not a lot of opportunities to play football. Your first introduction to football for a lot of us came when you got to grade 9 in high school. Now you get introduced to this game at a very young age. You get taught the basics by the coaching staff, which is fantastic, and everybody benefits. And boy, oh boy, was there a big hole there.
Huge hole for
big number 28, Dalton Schuin to run through. And boy, he's a Mack truck getting through there, and that's going to be another first down for Blenheim.
Yeah, and as you were saying, it is huge. A lot of these kids, they have played this sport for so many seasons now, and it's, a lot of them specifically together. Like if you look at Kelton Evans and Jake Anderson, every Cougars minor year and travel year, and now at McGregor, they have played together every year. And if you were to go down, I'll finish that after this play here. We got a Handoff to Dalton.
Hand off to Dalton Schuin, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Yep.
He is a tough man to bring down, and especially short yardage situations like that one there.
Yeah.
It's just almost impossible.
Yeah, but what I was getting back to my point, I've said many times over the last year that I would love for somebody to be able to go back through records and just to see how many touchdowns have been scored between Kelton Evans and Jake Anderson. And I would guarantee you that if you added up all the years they played together, they are definitely in the triple digits for touchdowns. Because many times as a coach, I've had the two of them have 5 touchdown games together many times. So it'd be interesting to see.
The extra point by Moabari was good, and now Blenheim, after that Dalton Schuin touchdown, up 55-29 over the John McGregor Panthers here. An 8-man senior football championship game. Dalton Schuin, that is, by my count, his 3rd touchdown here in this second half. So that tells you what kind of an impact he's had on this football game for Blenheim.
Absolutely. It was the key to this whole game, and from what I see, is that gap that got opened up right at the beginning of the second half. It afforded Blenheim to go back to just pounding the ball and keeping McGregor's defense on the field, and the gap just kept widening up from there.
So Moabari here with the kickoff for Blenheim. They will kick it deep. Yep. And that is going to be Keyshawn Jordan with the return.
And he's got
on the near side. Looked like he had a hole there briefly, but good job from Blenheim to close it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like I said, at this point in the game, with the gap in the score, even if Keyshawn Jordan is to bring one back on you after that long kick, it's not going to hurt as much at this point of the game. So, but yeah. It's been an entertaining game, like I said, either way. Even with the score being a little bit bigger now for Blenheim, it's still been a very highly entertaining game. And no one has left this field. Fan-wise, they're all still cheering, and it's great to see.
Yeah, it really is fantastic. And really, despite the score being a little bit lopsided now, still an opportunity for players to learn, keep playing the game, play it right to the end, and you just never know what's going to happen. Maybe you make a good play, or maybe you learn something through the course of that play that you didn't learn before, that you didn't know that you could do, or you accomplish something that, helps build your confidence. Despite you losing the game, you can take that with you and take it to the next year that you play football. So always a good message to have, to continue to play right to the end.
Yeah, and as a coach, that's what you expect every time from your players. You hate to see kids hang their heads and give up. No matter what the score is, you gotta leave it all on the field. That's what this game is all about.
Yeah, and we've all been there where there's that frustration. We've all been there where we've had that lopsided loss.
Yeah.
And you look back on it later on, and you know what? You think, at least I played it right to the end, and I played it the right way. We've all kind of done some dumb things over the course of our years, but you learn from it, and you just hope that the coaching staff can keep the players focused, and they can kind of take those lessons with them later on in life as well.
And you know what? There's no other sport out there that teaches lessons, life lessons, directly the way that football does, in my opinion. And being around this game and coaching it for over 20 years, that's the biggest thing for me. It's a beautiful game, and kids can take so much from it.
So John McGregor here, second and short situation, about 3 yards. They're going to go to the air here. They have a receiver, and it's up in the air. That ball was intended for Jake Anderson. Moabari got his hands on it, but it falls incomplete. Going to bring up a third down here. Moabari almost with a nice pick. And
you know what? A great adjustment by Jake Anderson. He became the defender there, trying to keep it from becoming a pick. And as a result, if he didn't, he might have got that off the bounce. But that's a good heads-up play by Anderson. You become the defender, make sure the defender doesn't come down with the pick. And a good job all around there by Ibari as well.
So third down and about 3 yards here for John McGregor. Jalen Butcher and Keyshawn Jordan in the backfield. They're going to give it to Jordan. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down.
Great
blocking up front there.
Yep. Great run. And getting back to the point, like what we were talking about life lessons and such, and playing till the end of the game. Again, as a coach, what I've always expected from my guys is you just give 110% no matter what. And that's like life, you know. You can tell the kids that are going to give 110% in life, and the ones that are going to, you know, give up really quickly. And if you give me your whole heart for 4 quarters, I don't care what the score is at the end, as long as you have.
And as an individual too, that's something that you can take with you.
Definitely.
You never want to have to live with that feeling that you didn't give your best and have some regret.
Yep.
You know, don't live with any of that regret. Just give it your best. And
exactly.
Certainly we're seeing that here today. Great job by both of these squads. Great job by the coaching staff. And
definitely.
Certainly the players, you know, they get the accolades. They're the ones that play the game. But you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff of volunteer work that they do.
Definitely.
And taking the time out of their own personal time. Anytime you put your personal time towards something, you have to remember somebody else or something else is losing out. So it's definitely a nod to the coaching staff for both of these teams to put in the extra time to do this.
Well, and honestly, when you we'll finish that after this here. We've got a pitch to Keyshawn.
Keyshawn Jordan. Good blocking up front by the receiver, and he's got a lane down that near side right in front of us. Finally dragged down, but good run and a great block out in front by his fellow receiver to give him that lane. Definitely.
Well, and if getting back to that point, if you look down the sideline at these coaching staffs, we got an injured Bobcat here. I believe you got Coach Clark and Coach Regan are the only staff members at McGregor on that sideline. And on the Blenheim sideline, the only staff member you have is my brother Brian Pugh, and the rest are all volunteers from the community. And many of them have coached with me over the years. We have Chris Algie, Mike Newman on the Blenheim sideline with Brian, and Osborne. He's been out here with Blenheim with my brother for lots and lots of years. We got Ryan Shreve and Ebear over here, and LeBute with McGregor's sidelines. A lot of players that have played for me over the years are giving back with coaching, and you don't get paid.
No, that's right.
They're gonna
quick throw it out. Quick one to the receiver there. Just looking to let him make a play.
Yeah, that was quick go to Clay Shreve.
It was Clay Shreve that had the big block in the play before that sprung Keyshawn Jordan for that nice big gain.
That's son of Ryan Shreve, who's over there on the sideline for McGregor, an ex-CCI Cougar, and he's been coaching on and off, more on for a couple decades now at McGregor. Him and I have coached together at Cougars and at McGregor. Great guy all around, and his son Clay is quite a player.
2nd and 10 here. We're going to go play action. Looking to throw that one just over.
Almost like a shot put. Yeah.
Almost picked off there by the defender.
Yeah. And that was a good attempt there by Kelton and trying to get it to Keyshawn.
Big number 64 getting in the way, Chris Van Ray.
A tall frame helps out quite a bit on the edge there.
So 3rd and 10 now for the John McGregor Panthers. Trailing this one 55-29. Not much time left in this football game. Evans going to drop back to throw it.
Oh.
And it is, great job by the defender there. Almost picked
Kyle
off.
Brown. And I think Mr. Shreve might have got away with a little bit of a push off there, but I think maybe a flag might have come down if he corralled it in.
Yeah, if he had made the catch, I was kind of thinking the same thing there.
Probably taught that, by his father, Ryan Shreve. Little push off never hurt.
Not unless you get flagged for it. It's only the wrong thing to do if you get flagged.
Well, yeah, isn't that you go back to the New England Patriots a bunch of years ago. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, right?
That's right.
Looks like McGregor's getting some guys out there that haven't been in very much. This is usually the time of the game where you unload the bench and make sure you get some kids into this, because some younger kids that will be taking over when these older guys graduate.
So Wellmiss under center. He's going to hand it off to Tanner Schuin and going with the stiff arm there, a little bit high.
James Gibson, yeah. And I'm thinking we might see that might be the flag that's down. I think Schuin might have got his hand on the face mask there.
Oh, just looking at the signal though. Looks like that one going against McGregor.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, and our time check there from Jeff Brooks telling us it's just 1 minute left now in this football game.
Yeah.
Again, championship football. Blenheim Bobcats leading the John McGregor Panthers 55-29.
In a very entertaining game.
Very good game. Remember, at the halftime, just a 20-15 lead Blenheim had over John McGregor, and then early in the second half, Blenheim just came out firing on all cylinders, and certainly offense putting up some scoring, and then they had a pick six that helped with that as well, and before you knew it, they had developed a pretty good lead over John McGregor and have just consistently run the football and managed to put points up, and John McGregor just not able to find that big spark that they needed to keep this one close.
Absolutely. And you know what? Classy for Blenheim here. You saw Jeremy Wamas walking up to the center, looking back at the clock. They're just going to kneel it out. There's no need for any more big runs or scores here. Victory formation for Blenheim, and a couple more snaps and knees, and this game will be done.
Yeah, everybody, as you mentioned, looking at the clock right now, just looking to take as much time off the clock as they can. They take the knee. Wamas.
Yep.
And brings up third down now, and you know they're just going to take a knee once again, looking to run this one out, and Blenheim pretty soon going to be able to celebrate this one. You can hear the crowds counting it down. Here's the last play. They're going to take the knee, and that's it, folks.
Well, and a great game. You know, Blenheim was in this last year. They were up against Sarnia St. Clair. Undefeated, went into Sarnia and did not fulfill the whole undefeated season. But this year, they did it.
Well, a fantastic job by both of these teams, and a well-played football game, hard-fought football game. But it is the Blenheim Bobcats that take this one 55-29, and the 8-man senior football championship here in Blenheim. What do you take away from this one here, Kevin? A fantastic football game.
Oh, great football game. You know, McGregor came out playing exactly how they had to. They established a run game. Like I said, just a little bit right after the first half, where Blenheim kind of took over, and after that, it was just hard for McGregor to battle back.
And boy, that tandem of running backs of Blenheim really controlled this football game. Dalton and Tanner Schuin just all over the place for Blenheim, and really imposed their will, and that was tough for John McGregor, the Panthers, to handle.
Definitely. But a great game all around.
So there you have it, championship football, 8-man senior football championship here from the Blenheim District Secondary School in Blenheim. They use that home field advantage to get the victory. A nice handshake here after the game, but it is the Blenheim Bobcats that take the championship 55-29. They win this one. Again, 8-man senior football championship here on this Saturday afternoon. Fantastically played football game. On behalf of Kevin Pugh, thanks for being here this afternoon.
Well, thanks for having me.
Fantastic game. And Jeff Brooks on the camera. I'm Mike James. Thanks for watching this fantastic championship football game on TV Coach Go. It is the Blenheim Bobcats, your 8-man senior football champions. Have yourself a great afternoon.